Oh my god, you guys, I think I've done it. A Mandela effect. I discovered it. Be honest with me here. Has the picture pod always looked like this? Look, I don't know what it looked like before. No clue, but I swear to God, this looks so different to me. Something about it, right? Top of the morning to you, laddies. It's me, Mia Maples, Minecraft. And welcome to Snapshot Day, my dude. So today's snapshot, it's an interesting one. A little bit smaller. But only smaller in size, because no pun intended. Probably. The things inside of the snapshot have actually gotten way larger here. The spear, the model of this thing, the sizing of it has been increased inside the snapshot. Look at how tall it goes. It goes all the way from the bottom up to nearly the top of the screen now. That's completely unlike anything in the entire game. Like, for example, thinking about something else quite long, the trident, it only stays in the bottom corner. Meanwhile, the spear is like all the way up to the top of the thing. That's pretty crazy. Now, this newfound large size also reflects and shows in a third person as well. Look at how tall and big this weapon is. When I'm like holding it and looking at it, oh my gosh, this can go like forever. Zooming out even more so, when I use the weapon too, it even looks a little bit longer here as well. And charging the weapon, yeah, this thing is like reaching all the way until like practically the end of time. It's pretty insane. Statistically speaking, we also have some pretty big and dangerous changes here. The spear attack will now deal more damage from the charge from players, but also mobs. Alright, I'll admit it, this is probably the worst idea I've had all morning. But we have a zombie with a spear, and it'll be able to do the charge attack, but don't watch it, man, get up. The charge attack that it's doing here, I mean, it's gonna do a little bit more damage. And of course, keep in mind that this charge attack is based off of velocity, so the quicker the zombie is moving, maybe it's on the zombie horse or something, the more damage it will actually deal. Speaking of horses, let's go ahead and see if we can find one and maybe test it out real quick. Does anybody else feel like the zombie should maybe have some kind of way to be able to zombify a horse too? Wouldn't that be sick?
1 hour later.
One super flat world later, and well, here we go. So this is definitely a terrible idea here, but the zombie horse with the spear, you charge it. Whoa, dude, all of my health. Stop it, no. Okay, yeah, I don't know what it did before. Whoa, dude, you're attacking your own boy. Stop it. Okay, so I don't know what in the heck this thing did before, but wow, that is way more dangerous now. Dude, he's just mauling through all of his own friends. Dude, you gotta watch it, man. Oh my god, that's so strong. But it's not just the bad guys that got a buff here. No, it's me as well. So, okay. Alrighty. Well, allegedly speaking, if I was riding a horse and I was able to use the spear on bad guys right here, I will deal way more damage than I was in the previous snapshot. That's because the spear has been buffed from both angles. Over here in a different setting where I could do all of the harassing, if you didn't notice here, as well as the spear taking up more of the screen, it has a brand new animation when you do the charge attack as well. When I land a charge attack hit, the spear will actually flinch back a little bit. That's a new visual indicator the devs put in the game to let you know that, yeah, actually, for sure, you did the trick. It worked right. As far as I can tell, the jab attack is exactly the same as it's always been, though. The only change here has to do with the amount of damage you're packing when you are doing the charge, the amount of space it takes up on the screen, and the little bounce back that you get when you actually land a hit correctly. Go away. Now, you call me crazy or what here, I'm not too sure, but I feel like the end tip of the spear, you can notice it there when I charged it up. The end tip, you can see the material a little bit better with this bigger size as well. Maybe I'm crazy and it was there before. In fact, I probably am, but it just looks so much more, like, apparent now that the spear is much larger. So overall here, this is a really nice round of upgrades to the spear, making it deal a little bit more damage on both ends. This little visual feedback when you land the jab correctly, and even the larger size. Yeah, it's all beautiful. But that's not all with the spear. No. You keep it in mind. We're gonna come back to it. First, you smash that like button. And the next up here, banners. Inside of this week's snapshot, for the first time in the Mounts of Mayhem update cycle, the banner has been fixed. Now, you know, I was really hoping that maybe some kind of banner update would happen. For example, this is a banner that I heavily customized here. I added, a bunch of patterns to it. That's a little glitchy still. I was thinking maybe they're gonna expand it and maybe add ability for more patterns, but alas, no. It seems to, at least right now, just have been a visual glitch and a relatively persistent one that popped up for a couple of snapshots. It's gone now. As far as I could tell, nothing was changed when it comes to dyeing or patterns in general in the snapshot. The mipmapping of textures. This was a change made in the initial snapshot for this update to make all of the things in the game look a whole lot better. Where you can really see this come into play is with things from a distance here. So if I take a spyglass and I zoom in on, say, like grass or small details that would be far away, they look way better than they would have before. For example, like a big tree with vines all over it. Yeah, that looks a little bit more clean. Well, inside of this week's snapshot, there's a lot of bug fixes, not the most, but a lot, and many of those bug fixes have to do with the mipmapping and textures rendering of different items and blocks. For example, a pretty weird one that was happening here, having to do with their texture updates, it had to do with glass. You could place glass down and then move far enough away, and the glass would go poof, vanish. It's invisible. No longer will these invisible weird blocks or random mipmapping glitches pop up any longer. Oh my gosh. Now, in this week's snapshot, we have one of the biggest changes to an enchantment that I think an enchantment has ever seen, and what it means for the future. Oh, it's huge. All right, warning, if you're standing up, sit down. I've got a little bit of a zinger to show you from Nenbot. At this point, the lunge enchantment should be renamed to lunge. It's named more down to earth, not as profound. It seems like you need to have a lunge every time you use it. Am I right? Well, no, it's not called the lunge. It is still called lunge, but oh my god, what they have done to the lunge enchantment is insane. So if you can remember in previous snapshots, if I had lunge 3 on a wooden spear, I used it one time, the spear would completely break, and no longer did the spear break. And there's no durability consumption at all, actually. I'm in 100% survival, but the durability of the spear is good. What's not good is my hunger situation going on over there. Do you see that? It just went down every time I used this enchantment. All right, so this is flipping crazy. Here we have lunge 1, lunge 2, and lunge 3. When I use lunge 1, I'll be pulled a little bit there. When I use lunge 2, I'll be pulled a little bit more. And then finally, when I use lunge 3, I get pulled the maximum amount of space. What the developers have gone and done with the lunge enchantment is, instead of consuming durability, no, you will now consume hunger when you use the lunge enchantment. Dude, it's insane. And the amount of hunger correlates to the level of lunge that you have. So lunge 1 will consume a little bit, lunge 2, a little bit more, and then finally lunge 3, I'm too hungry. So look at this, when your hunger is too low and I'm trying to use the lunge enchantment, doesn't matter the level, well, that's a beautiful sound, but no lunging is going to happen at all here. Statistically speaking, our brand new mechanic, here we go. Level 1 lunge is 3 hunger, level 2 is 4, and level 3 is 5. And you will only be able to use lunge if you have at least 6 hunger points on the bar. Now, 6 hunger points, remember that each notch is 2, so that means you need to have at least 3 of those hunches filled in to use lunge. And durability will never be consumed with a lunge spear. This is insane for moving around the world, and it actually makes enchanting a wooden spear not a bad idea. So let's see if I can find this over here. Somewhere in the grass, I dropped that enchanted diamond spear. Heck it, I'm big rich. I'll just make a new one. So take a look at this right here. We have a diamond spear. I use that. It's got a little bit of a cooldown, but the cooldown is slower. Meanwhile, a wooden spear, really quick cooldown, which means I can practically spam this stuff as long as I have enough food. As long as I have enough food here, I could practically spam and jump and run with the lunge enchantment. And dude, I can move around so quickly now. This is crazy. Man, I'm so excited, and this is insane. Now, to pull all of this off, we actually have a brand new attribute and system that has been added to the game. To make this enchantment consume something other than durability, we have this brand new entity effect right here, which is apply exhaustion. This will now allow any kind of enchantment to apply exhaustion instead of consume durability. This could also mean that in the future, an enchantment would theoretically be able to consume anything else. They could easily add a tag that maybe consumes air or something. Oh my gosh, the lunge enchantment. What do you guys think? Do you like it or not? And this brand new system? Oh, this opens up so many doors. That's so cool. Next up here, one of the saddest moves of all time. Here we have the boat. Here we have a nautilus. Nautilus, go into the boat. I want to move you. No, you can't go in the boat. Nautilus, can you go in the boat? No, you can't go in the boat either. Nobody can go inside of the boat here. The ZAUTILUS, the nautilus, no. This is week number 3 of me petitioning the developers for baby nautilus in a bucket. Please. Bro, I can't keep saying this. People are going to get bored. The bucket, look it. We can put tadpole in a bucket, put baby nautilus in a bucket so I can put it in my aquarium. Please. I stand by it, period. There is no reason that the baby nautilus shouldn't be able to go into a bucket, right? How else am I going to get this at my base? Oh, yeah, and nautilus up on the land, you say. You say just existing and living, you say. You say rowing a ZAUTILUS on the land. Wow, that's a lot of things you're saying. The ZAUTILUS seems to no longer take any suffocation damage when on the land. They made it so the ZAUTILUS can go on the land, so I guess kind of I could get this thing over to my base, at least if it's a ZAUTILUS. Look, man, like, at least if we're not going to be able to get the normal nautilus on the land and breathe, we should be able to, like, splash it with water to hydrate it or something. I need a way to move this thing. Come on. Alas, yes. I've been testing this one, though, for a good minute now, and there is no suffocation happening to this thing on the land, and I think it's intentional. So here's our change. The zombie nautilus will suffocate out of water unlike other undead mobs, so something like the drowned or something. Yeah, look it. They fixed this bug? Oh, that's so cool. Please, Mojang, give us a way to move the normal nautilus as well, or, now that we can move these things outside of the water, maybe a way to cure them. That could be cool. Keep in mind that this thing will still burn in the daylight, though, so you're gonna have to be careful there. And last but not least today, world borders. They made some changes to how the world border will work inside of this update. The time argument here is now given in ticks instead of seconds. So world border interpolation is now dependent on game ticks instead of real world time. That means you're going to need to convert any of your world border stuff from seconds to ticks. Fingers crossed that later today we will see a big Bedrock preview with new features. Otherwise, I guess it's on to next week. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Tap a like, subscribe, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Adios, my friends.